What's going on, guys? I got a good one for you today, I think. This one I've been watching for a while. It's been really running here. This is DSSI Diamond Shipping, and it's been absolutely killing it here, making bull flag after bull flag after bull pennant. And I'm watching it now, and it looks like it might have actually, I'll have to take a look, but it looks like it might have closed above this long-term resistance here. So I'm really going to keep an eye on it here and see if it can continue to hold above this $9.90, $10 level here. It broke out of this pennant here at $9.73, so if it did come down and back test that, that's a possibility. But look at the volume that came in here, and this is the long-term trend here that it's been trying to get above. So I have an $18 price target on this thing, and I've been really waiting to see how it's going to react when it got to this trend line here. On the 4 hour, it does look like it broke it here, but that's $9.97. It has been a little bit volatile where it comes up, has big price swings, then it comes back down. So we're gonna have to keep a close eye here, but we really want to see it flag out at least on this like $9.90 to $9 to $10 level here, and see if it can continue to hold here. Now it hasn't ever gotten a, let me see, I don't think it's ever gotten a 4 hourly close even above this level. It hasn't here. So watching and looking at that from this perspective is pretty bullish here. So I'd really like to see what it's going to do here. Let's look at the hourly real quick. Now looking at the hourly, we did just get this hourly close, but we don't have much volume right there. So we definitely want to be a little bit cautious there, but definitely keep an eye on it, because even if it was to come back down here to this 970 level and it can hold that even, that would be pretty huge, because you can see here we haven't been able to really close many candles above, and obviously it closed 1, 2, 3, 4 hours above this, 4 hourly candles above this here. As of right now, we do have a TD9 flash on the hourly, so whether or not it decides to ignore that, we'll have to wait and see. Let me just see what this potential pattern here, if this is if I was to go from that wick to that wick, and I was to go like this, then to me that would look like a potential rising channel, or rising wedge I should say. So if it was going to react to this red TD9 flash here, then let's see what the breakdown target of this would be if in fact it doesn't break, if it does break down from here somewhere soon. Roughly that 974, and if we were to have a breakout here on the bullish case scenario here, we would be looking at 1050. So depending on where we break down, it could be 979, it could be 974, and we have this 970 support below here of this back test of this pattern here, which would be perfectly fine with me if it did want to come back down and maybe make a further W or an inverse head and shoulders or something like that. But I've really been watching this thing like a hawk, because I want to get in on this trade here if it does decide to actually break out. Now of course it's been running a little bit here, so we don't want to get too excited. We're a little bit overextended in the 45-minute here, but it can definitely decide to break out here. It doesn't have to break down, but I'm going to expect that it's going to. Seeing that that's a little bit of a bearish pattern right there where it's at right now. But on the bullish case scenario here, this is the first time it's gotten any type of closes above this trend line here. So this is a long-term resistance. Now the thing is that the fact that that's a long-term resistance, it's hard to know if that's going to actually be strong support or not. Obviously it's been strong resistance, but whether or not it can flip to strong support, that's around 994. So I'm going to be keeping my eye on this one tomorrow. I want to see what it does here. It looks like a very big W on the MACD. Looks like a nice big W here on the 3 hour. And then on the weekly here, we are at an 8 flash here, which means next week could be a 9 flash. So that usually worries me as well. So we might have just had this big run here, and that I don't want to be buying a top here. So we're gonna really want to be a little bit cautious as far as that. But you know, because I've been in these situations where it looks really bullish and we actually end up getting completely screwed here. So, you know, we don't want to be on the wrong end of this trade, of course. So we have this potential golden cross coming in a couple weeks, but I've also seen this same setup and had things go south on me. So look at Fix, for instance. I mean, Fix had the same looking chart, and, you know, it had even more of a bullish pattern than this is a rising wedge. That was actually an ascending triangle, and it completely shit the bed here. So that being said, you know, that's the bearish view, and then the bullish view is that we could be in this pennant here, and it could not be a rising channel, and then we could take a little bit more time, even if we came back down to this $9 range. If it was a fake out, come back down here and then break up. So, you know, but with that volume spike there, that's a pretty damn good volume spike. It's zooming out, even you can still see it. So, you know, we want to keep that in mind on every possibility here. So what would the trade setup be? So the trade setup that I would do, you can see we got a nice bounce in the RSI that we've been running from, and it looks like we're going to potentially get a daily MACD cross in here. It doesn't have to be tomorrow. It could be, well, Friday's open, so Fridays aren't open, so it could be tomorrow, or it could be Monday. So, you know, we could still get some price action. It could fall back in here again potentially, right? So we're gonna have to see if it continued to hold any of these areas as support. 984, 969, or 971 are my what I'm watching for here, unless it decides to just take off and run. We'll have to see. And that major resistance right there is 995. So I would keep an eye on it and see if it's going to fall from this rising wedge or not, or if it's going to continue up. You know, if it was going to fall from the rising wedge, I'd probably wait and see if it's going to be able to break this 995 again. But if it decides to hold this level here, we can look for it and see if it's going to be able to hold this 995. And if it can, you could put a trade in at this 995 with a stop loss somewhere down in the 968, 967 level. That would probably be the trade that I would do. And, you know, I'm going to really keep an eye on it, because it does look like we had a nice breakout here of this pennant here. And this was the bull flag here that it broke out from originally. So if that's the case, we could be looking at a targeted move here of boom, 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 1137. So, you know, with that all being said, just keep this one in mind. I gotta go, but hope you guys like this video. Peace.